using our GoFish Cam for the first time today. Put a link in the description, check it out. Get some underwater footage, ice fishing. Can't wait for the spring. We'll be pulling this thing on our lines, on our fishing rods. Getting some good kokanee behaviors on camera, hopefully. Fishing without a fish finder today. Anyone can do this. A smaller lake that's not too deep. If you got more people, it's easier to find the fish. Start at different depths and figure out where they're at. A lot of the times they're actually going to be right under the ice and you can see them right through your hole. Makes for fun fishing with kids. Now we're going to start reeling up. Reel up one turn. Pause. Give it a jig. Pause. Jig it again. Pause. Reel up again. Pause. There he is. There we go. Just like that. First kokanee on. GoFish Cam filming this here. Oh! And he's off. Take a look at the camera later. Just lost our first fish. That's what we're using. 6-inch sling blade. I like to bend mine like this. That way when it's going down in the water, it'll actually flutter. And when you jig it, it'll actually jig up. Creates a lot of flash, a lot of displacement. Works pretty good. It's one of my favorites now. It is a longer 6-inch dodger here, not the smaller ones. Then on that I've got a glow hook, piece of corn, and my little weight here to keep the line from tangling. Showing you guys how to do it here. There's our GoFish Cam. We've been fishing 25 feet. I had one at 25, one at about 25 I was reeling up. So we'll get our flasher to the bottom of the hole here. And we're going to count to 25. 1, 2, 3. We're at 25 feet. I like to let it pause after I've dropped it down for a couple seconds here. Give it time to settle out. Give the dodger time to kind of lay straight in the water. Once I think it's there, I'll start my jigging process. Now we know there's fish around. We've lost 2. We're just going to jig up 6 to 8 inches. See if they're still around. If they're not around, we'll do some bigger jigs. If we can't get them to come in, I'm going to actually drop it down to 30. And then I'll start reeling up. Search the water for them. Kokanee are quite active. They'll actually chase your lure up. They'll chase it down. It's quite impressive to see under the water. I'd love to get some footage for you guys. Don't got to be too keen on the depth you're at, just the average depth, and then they'll try and chase it in for you. Do some bigger jigs. Attract them in. Make sure you let it pause. Let that dodger hit the bottom. Bigger jigs, you'll watch the dodger bounce the rod tip here. Jig. Pause again. Give it 2 to 3 seconds of pausing. Seems to be working for us. Now we'll go down to 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about 30. Don't have a fish finder. It helps. But we seem to be doing okay this year with kokanee. We're figuring it out here. It's our first year actually catching kokanee through the ice. Last year we tried 15 times at least. Got 1 kokanee. Lots of bites, but just couldn't land them. I like to horse my fish in. I've always been known for that. I hook them, and kokanee has kind of taught me to loosen my drag. Try and play them a little bit while you get them in. So I've gone to one extreme last year where I've loosened my drag too much, and this year I've kind of tightened my drag up a little too much, so I'm starting to back off a bit. Just always check your drag. Make sure that kokanee can pull a little bit on it. leaving your rod tip as close to the water as possible. When you feel that slightest little nibble there on the kokanee, you can kind of pull up on them and hook up with them. I'm going to start reeling up from 30 feet. Let it pause. Reel one turn. Pause. Give it a jig. Pause. Jig. Pause. 1, 2. Jig. Pause. 1, 2, 3. So you can play around with that. I've seen guys have great big sweeping jigs. That's usually to attract the fish in. Don't be tricked by your dodger when it hits the bottom of your jig when you do this. You watch my rod tip, it'll bounce. Let it sit there a bit, let everything settle out. Reel up again, one turn. Let it pause, let it sit there. Sometimes they'll hit it, they'll chase it up. If I knew the exact depth the kokanee we're at, I would just leave it there. But everyone's gone home. I'm the only guy out here right now. Earlier today, I heard fish were caught at 12 feet. Most of them caught at 22 to 24. That's why we started at 25. Dropped down to 30 because a few of them caught at 30 as well. So kokanee are really kind of all over the water column today, just like they have been all winter. So we're just going to keep searching for them. If I can get some sight fishing in today, I will. Usually find the bigger kokanee, for whatever reason, are hanging out deeper in the water column. It's not always the case, but that's what we've been seeing this winter. Oh, right in the hole.